Hey, for Transformers Tuesday, I've been going through some stuff in the building to catalog what I have, because I thought I've done this before, but evidently I haven't. And now I can actually do this. It's a great time to do it in the summer. I keep my eye on the clock too. Oh, it's 2 o'clock, so I better make this one quick and get on the thing with some friends. So this particular one is a smaller version of Megatron from the animated line. The animated line was absolutely groundbreaking. It was so different the way they looked. A lot of people like this version of him in helicopter mode. Now, I'm always going to think the tank is the best, even though I grew up with the gun. I always thought the gun robot looked awful. Masterpiece did a great job with the gun, but I think the tank really fits a leader of a group of robots. I mean, it just makes more sense to me. So it's pretty easy to see that this is not something that'll be that complicated to put together. In action figure mode, though, before we go there, he could turn his head left and right. He's got a swivel joint, and he can't go too far. This right here that keeps happening, this is because that's part of the, you see all the spring-loaded stuff? He's kind of one of those easy to transform things. He has a swivel joint in the upper bicep. He's got some hollow bits, but that's okay. That's acceptable. He can bend well over 90 degrees at his elbow. His wrist does have articulation, but it's one of those things, if I'm afraid if I twist it right now, it's going to twist it right out of there. I always hated these open things like that. He's got nothing in the waist, but down here he's got a ball joint in his thigh and a ball joint in the leg, so he can do a fairly good amount of articulation. He doesn't have a thigh swivel, but really at this size, you don't expect one. And his feet can go pointing because he is part of the transformation, and he can go kicking up high. Now you might be thinking, how small is this? Well, that's a great question. Let's find out. He is 10 centimeters tall, so he would go really well in my collection of the the little model kits I have. See, he's about the same size as a G.I. Joe. So for the Action Masters and the little model kits that I have called Blockies, he might go really well. He's 4 inches tall. So transforming him, it's almost like he can transform himself for the most part. You just gotta know exactly where you're popping at. There's like a little place where once you start it just kind of all folds into place. He's got a lot of back kibble because of his size, and it's not really meant for anything other than younger people to play with, I guess you can say, like people in their 20s or 30s. All right, so I know there's a one little button. If I don't push it, then I might end up either breaking it, or I'm just not going to enjoy the full, you know, when it happens. Because it's like those Beast Wars characters. If you push a button, it all just kind of pops into place. Oh, okay. I think I figured out the breaking point. Right here at his chest. When you pull this back, it kind of just all morphs. It all does it at one time. And you just pull this over. And for his feet, point his toes, put his legs together. This is the part you have to really use your imagination, because I think that's actually where it goes. It doesn't fold up or anything. Like, there's nowhere to fold anything into. You just kind of see how that little clip right there, it clips onto the back of the legs, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I know it looks kind of weird, but that is it. All these arms, you bring them in, because that's like the I don't know what you call them, the helicopter. And the helicopter's got the 2 propellers on the side, which is really, really sci-fi-ish and not really, really, really realistic. Go back into whatever mode. There, that mode. I'm trying to figure out if there's any kind of lockdown thing I need to do. I think there is a point that you're supposed to push down and it snaps and it stays put. But again, this is really old. It's like over 20 years old, and plus, I'm sure I'm doing something absolutely like I'm missing some little element. But basically, like I said, you turn it to a helicopter, and then it auto morphs back. Stays in robot mode a little bit better, so que será, será. Well, if you enjoyed this little action figure and you need it for your collection, I'll go to eBay and find one. Although, to be completely honest with you, I would prefer the bigger version, and I do have the bigger version. I'm not sure it's in this box I just pulled out of the shed outside, but that one's a cool one. I'm going to actually see if it works well with the other ones. Ooh, I like that one. There's a lot in here I need to go through and just play with today. Oh, I do have the bigger version. So we'll do that in another video because it's 2 o'clock and I want to get in there and see how... wait a minute. Is Mark doing a video today? He's supposed to be traveling, but I think he's traveling tomorrow to go to the comic book show in Greensboro. Not Greensboro. Anyway, you don't need to know that. Y'all have a terrific Tuesday.